Hello guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm here for my match week 4 predictions for the Premier League. If you're going to enjoy the video, drop a like and subscribe as always. Drop your predictions in the comment section down below and I'll do the rest of adding you to the prediction league, which I update on the community tab after every match week, so keep your eyes peeled for that. One last thing before we get into the predictions, I mentioned it last videos, the FCAs. I'm going for best young content creator. I need your help, so if you're willing to give me a vote, if you enjoy the content, I much appreciate it. Enough of that, let's go into these predictions. We start off on the Friday night game. It's Luton Town for their first ever game in the Premier League at home at Kenilworth Road. Of course, over the summer, since they've won the playoff final, all we've heard about Luton is their stadium and how it's being redeveloped to fit, of course, the Premier League criteria. They take on a West Ham side who really are going under the radar to start this Premier League season. They just come off the back of a victory against Brighton, one of the best teams in the league. In this one, I think it's going to be a tough game for Luton at home. Of course, last summer against Chelsea, they had their opportunities, but quality come through in the end. I think it'll happen again here, and I'm going confident on West Ham for a 4-0 win at Kenilworth Road on the Friday night. Up next, it's going to be a massive game when we look back on the season as a whole, because I expect these two teams to be down there this season. Sheffield United and Everton, they take on the Saturday at Bramall Lane. Now, Sheffield United almost did the unthinkable and got something against Man City. As for Everton, they just can't score at the moment. I think this is the worst start ever to a Premier League season. 0 points, 0 goals scored. It's just awful for them right now. They're recording this, and by the time the games are played, the transfer window would have shut. There's still a few days left to go, so they still could sign a striker. They're being linked to quite a few. I don't know how to predict this one. I could see a draw playing out, but I'm just edging Everton for the 1-0. Something's telling me sooner rather than later they'll get off the mark with the 3 points. I think they'll do it this match week. 1-0. Next up, we go to Brentford and they take on Bournemouth. Of course, this fixture just a few years ago was a playoff semi-final battle when Brentford did the unthinkable and come from behind to beat Bournemouth in the playoffs semi-finals, to reach the final and beat my team Swansea. I don't know why I do it to myself. In this one, it's going to be a tricky game. It always is against Brentford when they're involved. Bournemouth, of course, a lot of hype around them this year with the new manager, of course, and the signings they are making. In this one, though, Brentford are looking really good so far this season. Just drew 1-1 against Crystal Palace. In this one, I'm backing Brentford to win 2-0 at home. Off to Turf Moor next. It hasn't been a great start for Burnley, however they have played one game less than everyone else. Taking on Spurs, who Ange Postecoglou, everybody is falling in love with him. Spurs fans absolutely love him at the moment, playing nice, attractive football. Against Burnley in this one, I can see them continuing their fantastic start to the season with a 2-0 win here against Burnley. Off to Stamford Bridge next, it's Chelsea taking on Nottingham Forest. Now, what a game for Nottingham Forest against Manchester United last time out. 3-2 defeat, scored 2 goals in 4 minutes and bottled it in the end. A lot of controversial calls, such as the penalty. Was it a foul? Was it not? The red card? Everything. On the flip side, for Chelsea, fantastic for them to get their first win of the new season against Luton. Convincing win as well, 3-0. Could have been more. Raheem Sterling looks to be back at his best. In this one, Chelsea to make it 2 wins back-to-back at Stamford Bridge in a 2-1 victory over Nottingham Forest here. Off to the Etihad next, it's Man City taking on Fulham. This one's going to be an interesting game as always, of course. Fulham this season haven't started too bad. However, a few people thought they would have done a bit better going into it. As for Man City, of course, as I touched on with Sheffield United, almost dropped points against Sheffield United. Rodri rescued them in the end. Haaland missed the penalty as well in that one. But City, they're always strong, they're always a good team, hard to back against them. That's why I'm backing them for a 3-1 victory here. I'm backing them to concede yet again though. Next up we go to the Amex. It's Brighton taking on Newcastle United. Now, both of these sides just suffered defeats. Newcastle just lost to Liverpool. Although they were 1-0 up and Liverpool playing with 10 men. However, Brighton on the flip side, they didn't have any men sent off and lost to West Ham. I think it was 3-1 in the end in that one. Not convincing stuff there. In this one, I'm backing Newcastle to get the 2-1 victory. This is going to be a close game. Both sides had fantastic seasons last year, and I think they'll be right up there again this year. 2-1 to the tune. Moving on, we go to Crystal Palace taking on Wolves. Wolves got their first win of the season against Everton. That'll do them the world of goods under Gary O'Neill. But can we just talk about Jose Sá? What an incredible save it was. If you've seen it, you'll know which one I'm on about. Just tipped it over the crossbar. Fantastic goalkeeping from the Wolves number 1. Against Crystal Palace, they're looking to sign Dean Henderson, I'm pretty sure that's correct. It's just a solid Premier League team from Crystal Palace they have. Of course, Elise signed a new deal quite recently, cementing his future to Crystal Palace. And they're looking really good at Crystal Palace at the moment. Just drew 1-1 with Brentford. I think they get 3 points here in a 2-0 victory at Sellers Park. Moving on to Liverpool taking on Aston Villa. This one's always an exciting game. Aston Villa started the season on the opening day with a poor performance, but since then they've been very good and nice to watch. Coming up against the Liverpool side who it's quite a big change there, especially in the midfield this season with all the moving parts. Here though, I'm backing Liverpool for the win, 3-1 at Anfield. And the final game to predict this match week is a massive game. Arsenal taking on Manchester United. This one's always a thriller, but in this one I'm sitting on the fence. 1-1 draw. It's the only draw I'm predicting of the match week. Yeah, for me, Arsenal against Fulham, they just weren't at their best and haven't been at their best so far this season in any of the games. As for Manchester United, same for them really. They haven't been at their best against Wolves, Tottenham or Forest. Nothing's going to change here for me. Both teams to score, neither side to get the win. 1-1 in this one. Well then guys, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, drop a like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you in the next one very soon guys. Take care. Goodbye.